Hi everyone. Okay, so this is the second video about theme. In the first video, if you haven't watched that already, you probably should. It talks to you about what a theme is. It's basically the message in a story, but you really do need to watch that first video before you watch this one because this will make much more sense. Okay, so, how do we find the theme in your book? There's so much going on, as you can see on this slide, going on in stories. How do you pick apart and find the theme? So, I wanted to give you 3 steps to help you with your theme, to help you find it. So, step, they're all 3 are going to be on the next slide. So, they're not going to be a surprise. But I'm also going to use this book right here that I am reading currently. It's called When the Sea Turned to Silver, and it's by Grace Lynn. I love her books. You've heard me talk about a book I think called When the Mountain Meets the Moon. That's one that I love, and I may do it as a read aloud one day in class because it's such a fun one to read aloud. So this is the book that I'm going to kind of use as an example as we go through the 3 things. Okay, here we go. All right, so I just realized that this is super tiny. The word aha. Oh well. Okay. Um, how to find the theme in a story. 3, they're not steps that you have to go in order, but they're just 3 ways or 3 helpful things. I would definitely do more than one of these or think through more than one of these. The first one is to use signposts. Honestly, one of the things about signposts, basically what they're designed for, is to find meaning in a story. And that's what we're looking for. We're kind of digging down deep, a little bit below just the surfacey words and plot. That's what we're looking at for theme, sort of what's behind all of this story. So use the signposts. There is a signpost PowerPoint that I have in a resources section. So I don't know when you'll be watching this, but I have probably made it available to you at some point somewhere. So take a look at that signpost video or PowerPoint. One of the things that I wanted to tell you was that there are 4 signposts. There's 6 of them total, but there's 4 in particular that are really good for this, for finding the theme. So aha moments is when your character realizes something important. Okay. A memory moment is when a character is flashing back to the past. That's also going to be important to look at because if they're having a memory, it's a very carefully chosen memory by your author. So pay attention. You might find something that they're learning. Tough questions are things that the character is asking him or herself, and they're working through the conflict, they're working through struggles. That's always a good place to kind of find the theme. And then lastly, if something comes up again and again, you're going to want to pay attention to that because the author is clearly trying to give you a big sign, basically, that says, hey, pay attention to this. It's like a giant arrow. Okay. All right. So let me just explain a couple of things that I've seen in this book. One of the things is, and you can't see this, I know, but I want to put it up anyway. So in this book, the main character, her name is Pinmay, and she is very shy. So you find out in the beginning, her grandmother is a famous storyteller, and she's just amazed by her because she is so bashful that she doesn't like to talk in front of people, definitely not tell a story. And throughout the story, she begins to be pushed out of her comfort zone. And so it says right here, again, this is an again and again, right? So I saw this coming up again and again that Pinmay, when she's called upon, when she's asked to share a story, right? Her grandmother is taken, is kidnapped, and now she's searching for her, and she's asked by a bunch of people, hey, can you tell us a story? And this is her reaction. She says, Pinmay felt everyone's eyes on her, and the stone in her throat grew and pushed against her lungs and heart. She tried to gulp, but the air seemed to have turned solid. Amma, Pinmay thought desperately, I need you. Blindly, she turned to run from the room in panic. So again and again, this idea of her being too scared to speak or tell stories or do what she needs to do in a situation comes up all the time. And so that's kind of starting to get me toward, okay, this is part of the theme. This is something that the main character is struggling with. And then toward the end of this page, oh, I hear a little person. They might come in the room right now. There's footsteps outside my door. Okay. The next thing is, oh, so she has an aha moment toward the end of this page. She basically starts to say, so she's basically still kind of really anxious about saying something or telling a story. And then she moves on and says, the heat, so someone shakes her hand, right? And she says, the heat of his hand traveled up her arm and the ice inside her began to melt. That's the ice of fear, right? She's fearful. Amma is not here. That's her grandmother, Amma. Pinmay thought, there's only me. Aha, right? She looked again at Siffin's pleading eyes and swallowed. When it is time for you to do something, you will do it. Okay, now I think this is a combination. She has an aha moment. There's only me. I'm the only one who can tell this story. Amma isn't here. So I have to do it. I have to get over my fear. But then she also remembers something that Amma said to her before. And it's a very short memory moment. But her grandmother said, when it is time for you to do something, you will do it. So all of those things combined, that was just one page. But because I was paying attention, I'm able to start formulating ideas about what the theme might be, right? It has to do, I'm sure, with Pinmay's struggle of shyness and am I going to be able to do what needs to be done and tell the stories that need to be told when I come up in a situation. And so the memory moment and the again and again and the aha moment all work together to kind of help me get toward that. All right. So that was kind of long, but the next check mark, the next step or idea to help you find the theme is ask yourself, what is the main character struggling with? And then you have to ask the second question too. You can't just identify what they're struggling with. Then what are they learning? And actually, what I just read you was a perfect example of that as well. So if you ask yourself, okay, what is the main character struggling with? Pinmay is struggling with, on the surface, she's struggling with, yes, her grandmother has been taken, but she's also struggling with, how can I be brave, right, in these different situations? And then what is she learning? So she's learning, okay, I can do this if I need to. And so I'm capable and I can be brave. All right. And then the last thing is think about the topic of the story and try to figure out what the author is saying about that topic. So I would go through and kind of think, okay, this is about a girl who is beginning to be a storyteller and beginning to be brave. So, what is the author saying about how to be brave and when to be brave and things like that? Okay, I hope this was helpful. I just wanted to give you a brief video. I will post this list in wherever you're going to find this. I will most likely post this list for you so you can just go back and look at it without getting to the video. Okay. I will talk to you all soon if I can maybe, I don't know if I can get the stop button. There we go. All right. Bye.